Hey guys, V. Ragone, Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. Well, thanks for watching us here. And remember, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button if you like the channel, if you like what's going on here. And even if you don't like it, you might find it entertaining. You know, I watch some shit that I don't like either, just because I find it entertaining. What are we talking about here today? Well, this is part of this middle class BS, what I call middle class BS. And whether or not you want to stay in this level where most people are, or do you want to really get out of it? The last video we did on this was talking about the fact that, you know, excuses of somebody who already owned an additional property and just was going to sell it because, hey, you know what? You just didn't have the time. Taxes were too high, you know, and what if the tenants didn't pay? So we went through that already. We're not going to do it again. What we are going to talk about is the second really, you know, the second major component of being a middle class. And what is that? That's having that bachelor's degree, baby. That's right. Going to college. And whenever I talk about college, people get all kind of crazy. Now, I went to college. When I went to college, I didn't end up in, you know, $60, $100, $120,000 worth of debt for a bachelor's degree. Now, yes, let us just take this right now and let's get it out of the way. Let's get this out of the way, because I'll always get some stupid ass comment, which makes me laugh, about, but you need a degree in order to be a doctor. I get it. If you want to become what is considered to be a professional, and remember, most of these professionals, they move out of the middle class into at least the upper class, like a doctor, like a really good lawyer. I'm not talking about most lawyers. I'm talking about really good lawyers, right? Like, you know, really good dentists, especially the ones that specialize. So let's get all those out of the way. What other ones are there? Oh, well, there's anything that has to do with the medical field, anything that has to do with I don't know, psychology. You can move yourself out of the middle class by having a professional degree. So we're going to move all that off the table, because I know you got to go to college for that. It's a must. There is no if, ands, or but. You got to go. Now, let's talk about the rest of these degrees. I used as an example in the last video I said about a history degree. And one guy said, yeah, but what about the people that have to dig up the stuff about history? We talking about an anthropologist? That's different than a history degree. A history degree is someone who interprets, well, unfortunately, they interpret under typically their own narrative of what history was, whether it be ancient history, you know, modern history, whatever, right? But how many people with history degrees actually become authentic historians? Come on, let's get over yourself. Same thing with literature and literature degrees. All the arts. I get it. You need artists. I want to know how many major artists actually went to college. Maybe some did. Don't know that most. But hey, you want to go to college. You want to get that literature degree. If someone's going to pay the deal and you're going to get to go there and you can sit there and you can read all the books and write all the reports and have that appreciation of literature, God bless you. I'm not talking about those people who got the free ride. What do I mean by the free ride? Well, their parents have plenty of money and they just want them to go to college and have that beautiful experience. Well, good luck with that. That's great. No problem. I'm not talking about those people. Then when they come out of college, they can go do whatever they want because they come from families that have, you know, entitlement. Now, they may have created their own entitlement. That's great. That's what we want. You know, you want to become wealthy in life so then your children and your children's children can do those things that they want to do, not those things that they have to do. I mean, the one thing you could say about the Kennedys, yes, I'm talking about the Kennedys. You know, now, do I agree with their politics? 90%, no. Well, maybe not 90, maybe 80, 85. You know, Robert Jr. is doing pretty good these days. And if you've seen that guy working out, he's a beast. Anyhow, so they made all this money, like the Rockefellers, and then they get to go do what they want to do. They can be productive members of society. They just don't sit there and belong to every club and all the BS. They actually go out and they do what they want to do, and they've got the means to do it. Now, when I'm talking to you, am I talking about those people? Are you those people? If you are, then you don't need to listen to me. But if you want to get ahead in life, you want to do something more, then I don't suggest that you go to college and you get that history degree, you get that literature degree, you get that art degree. Now, maybe, unless you don't care about making a living. Because if you do care about making a living, they're not going to work out. It's not going to work out too well for you to be in the field under which you went for the education you went for. All right. It's no different. Most lawyers don't even, most people get law degrees, don't even practice law. They just wanted the additional education. Many of them become journalists. So, you've got to look at what it is you want. What's your end result? What is your goal? Unfortunately, when you're 17 years old and you're thinking about what college you want to go to and what you want to study for the rest of your freaking life, and you're trying to make that decision based upon being 17 years old and whatever input that is probably not wanted by you from your parents, that's what you're going to start to live with. And that's what you're going to end up paying for until you're 50 or 60 years old. Yes, these student loans, they take forever to get paid off. So when I'm telling you and talking to you about going to college, I got nothing against you going to college. It's only 4 years of your life. But if you're going to come out of college with a giant debt in which you're going to go then and not be able to get a job in that field, because I don't know how many historians people are hiring, then you better think about that a little bit more. And I get it. There are a lot of people that are pushed by their parents, but hopefully you're listening to this and you're saying to yourself, just because you're pushed by someone, even if it's your parents, doesn't mean it's the direction you have to go. I am not pushing you to do this at all. You do whatever you want to do. But the bottom line is that look at the millions of people that come out of these colleges and they're underemployed with degrees in the arts, in all these types of non-professional degrees. The idea that you go to college and don't come out with a degree that is a professional degree is really kind of stupid in this day and age if you've got to pay for it. If you've got to pay the student loan off. Like I said, if someone else is paying the toll and you can come out with a history degree, that's fine. Then go do what you want to do, and whether you can use that history degree or not. Sometimes one of the things about having a degree in almost anything, it allows you to get usually into a corporation as a salesperson. They're looking for people that at least finish something, and then they'll hire you in their sales department in most corporations. So if you really want to be in sales, then go get a history degree, because then you can go work for a lot of these corporations where they won't hire you if you don't have at least a bachelor's degree in something. So, and I don't know that you went to school for 4 years so you could go work as a salesperson for Johnson & Johnson or Abbott or something like that. That's probably the last thing that you were thinking about. All right, but if you got to pay for it, then think about it, because why would you want to do this to yourself? If it's going to end up being your avocation, that's right, something you love to do, then do it in your spare time. But if you can't make it your avocation, if you can't make it your profession, or if there are very few people that are hired in your profession, like historians, well, then don't do it. It's like, if you can't do it, if you can't become a historian, if there's not a path for you, if you haven't figured that out in advance, then you're just going there and you're spending, $60,000 a year, $50,000 a year for 4 years to do what? Just owe a lot of money? And then what? And then go do something you don't really want to do? That's what I'm talking about. That's the way I see the world. Now, I get it that you've been told all your life that you got to go to college. And honey, you can do whatever you think you want to do. Yes, you can do it all, whatever you want to do. And you listen to this BS, and then you end up in college, and then you go through college, you come out, you can't get a job, you end up as a server or a bartender or something else, and you start to try to figure out, what am I going to do? Or like I've talked about in past videos, where the person says, I don't understand it. I thought that college gave me the experience to go do the job. So why aren't I getting paid the $125,000 a year? Why do they only want to start me at 60 or 50 or 45? And they don't care whether or not you can live on 60 or 50 or 45. They don't care. So this idea that, oh, everybody's bad because they're not going to pay you 120 grand to start is ridiculous. The world is cold, baby. They don't care. And you're not getting experience in college unless you're in some kind of a shared work program, whatever. And even that is going to be limited experience in which the employers in which you're spending time as an intern, some kind of internship, they're treating you with kid gloves. It's not real world experience. And so, but you're not coming out with the kind of experience that'll start you at a salary that someone's already in your profession doing what you want to be doing, and they've been there for 10 or 15 years, and now they're making 100, 120,000 a year. You'll get there, but you're not going to start there, and college is just the ticket for you to get in. But in most of those cases, it has something to do with a specific professional type program that is designed, that's going to be pay off for what you're spending on this degree. But if you don't see that, then quit buying into this bullshit that college is going to make you a lot of money. Because when they do these things and they do these studies and they say, oh, a college degree is worth X amount of dollars over your lifetime, they're factoring in all these degrees that have to do with being a CPA, being a dentist, being a lawyer, being all the professions. But they're not talking about most of the degrees people go for. So start thinking about it. I know if you're young and you're going in and you're doing this, I know that you're sitting there and you're just listening to everything your parents are telling you. Well, unless they're paying the full ride, you better start to think for yourself. And in this day and age, there's enough information out there. Go look it up. How much does a historian get paid if they can get a job? And how many people who come out with history degrees are able to get jobs in the field and start writing about history? That's what I would like to know. Go do it. Why? And when I say I'd like to know that, I'm talking about the fact that I don't really care. Go figure it out. But if you do care, figure it out before you go. All the data's out there. Figure out how much the profession or the career that you're going to go and spend 4, 6, 8, 10 years in college for, what's it going to pay? And what are your long-term opportunities? Because you're going to put in the time, you're going to pay the price, and then you're going to end up trying to figure it out. And you're going to owe a lot of money. I don't know if any of this makes sense to you, because this is the way the world works. Right? You can go there, you can do it, you can come out, and then you can sit there, and then you can go be a server at a nice restaurant, because that always works too. And I got nothing against servers. But I don't know anybody that goes and spends 4 to 6 years in college who comes out and their goal is to be a server, when you don't need to go to college to begin with to become a server. Does that make sense? Or a bartender. Think about it. Start thinking big. Start thinking bigger than what your parents think. Start thinking bigger than what your friends think. And then start to act on what you're thinking about. Start to put it to work. Remember what I always say. Think big, start now, grow fast.